Go back on the T4. I'm currently looking for a single seat base. I have if I can get that, bear with. The 130 amp hour leisure battery. This was purchased for a T5 that I never used. If I can drill a hole there, cut the floor insulation out, drop it down, that battery may sit in this low enough to use. I've got a pair of grey Audi Mark 1 TT seats. Should land today actually, so I can work out if I've got enough room to put those on there with the leisure battery underneath. If not, plan B, C, whatever, until it's done. Both seat bases will be painted, this one and whatever else I pick up. So today I'm fitting the diesel heater. The tank goes pretty much underneath the cab here. Taking from the sender, which is roughly there, through the base. The heater unit is made up. Just sort of weighing up the sizes for that. Drawers on the front. The control unit will be at the top there, and the diesel heater controller. Partition here for the water, partition here for the heater. Drop out vent for the gas, vents at the back for that, and the diesel heater and the gas there. And bottom on, top on, painted. I use a grey on the inner. It's the outlet for the water on. They're a nightmare to fit unless you do it before you fit. The headliner I'm going to cover in the smoke fabric. Decided to do that, keep the cab a bit more bright and airy. Door cards, if the black turns up, I'll spray them. There's all the inner bits there to fit visors, etc. And the roof vent there is going in. Let's get the inner section out of the way. That's pretty much where it is now. And once it's in, I'm using black Sikaflex to locate, and possibly a screw in each corner. They're not exactly load bearing. It's not as if you're doing sort of 300-400 miles an hour down an autobahn or something. So it saves on water ingress as well. That can be a bit of a nightmare. It can get through literally a pinhead, soak your van. So that'll go in. The outer sections there will be sprayed satin once it's in and the Sikaflex is dry. Same with the 130 amp flexible solar panel there. That's there'll be a bit of air venting underneath. I like a bit of venting for the heat on those. Cables through, hidden, drop down into the kitchen unit there for the control panel for the solar, and back up to the leisure battery. Get that back on there. I may locate, you get ring pieces on the corners of these. I think I'll locate that one down, not 100% sure yet. Obviously roof lining off, it needs cutting slightly because it goes over too far. Okay, that's the plan for today, so let's get the inner sections of this, the base, front and back, painted up, and I think I'll do the liner and get the main cab put together then. Fitting the roof vent now, got that marked out to just over the dimensions of the outer part of this. It's the centre of the roof there. Marked it on the vent, so it'll be roughly there. So into the van now, drop down the lining, make sure, I'm pretty sure the roof rails on the T4 run in conjunction with those, hopefully. It's a mistake to make, but yeah. So get the roof lining, inner roof lining off, come back and cut the hole out there. drop this liner down that for some reason has been stopped here, short at the end, but yeah, get that down. Needs cutting at the front just before the end. Get that back up after and tidy it up. It's a pretty good job, to be honest. There's not much on this carpeting that needs tidying up. It is a good job. Just little bits and pieces. The inside of the where the lights are here, I'd often wonder myself how to do that, but I've just left the carpet loose here. What I'll do is I'll cut around and leave it like that so you can get into the fitments for the lights or removing the lights. Anyway, back to this. Once the headlining dropped, I'll tidy this up. A new piece across the top there with the side door runner. Just a few areas of tidying up. It looks as if this needs to come, this back edge needs to come right back, and then I think it'll get to the correct location on the final runner there. The insulation on the roof, that is a good job, really good. Need these taken out bits and pieces, but yeah, once that's back on, tidied up, all good. Just going to mark out and cut out the area for the roof vent and work out where the solar wires need to come through. It's the corner holes drilled for the nibbler to go through, make the hole for the roof. That's the inner part of the kitchen pod painted. It's the two outer doors there. Still to put the T-trim on those hinges, etc. And the roof lining trimmed in the smoke carpet. I'm going to put that on now and get all the handles and trim back on. It's the flexible 130 amp solar panel fitted. Just waiting to seal it as the wires go in underneath. I need to open another tube of Sikaflex for that. And the roof vent. It's looking nice and stealth. Give the roof a clean. It's a bit grubby. But yeah, you get the point with that. It's not that visible from that roof line, so it's not too bad. And obviously coming in there with the wires, it's the inner section of the vent. What I'll do with that is bring those feed wires across and in that corner there, join them, and then bring them down. If I can get it in the, I've got to take the seatbelt mechanism off to do the carpet in there, so if I can feed them down and maybe bring them out at that bottom point there, through a grommet maybe. In fact, I've got grommets that would fit that, so bring them through there. And solar controller in the pod, hopefully battery underneath the seat there. It's looking tight at the moment, but I think I'll cut down into the floor. Just need a little bit more and I should be able to get that done. Seats have arrived this morning from those guys in the northeast, Teesside. Grey Mark 1 Audi TT leather seats, like a mid grey. I'm going to clean them back to sort of that colour they'll come. Obviously drivers is always a bit more mucky, although there's no rips, tears, nothing. Back to the 80s. Yeah, they're going to look really good in that cab, keeping the headlining a lighter colour, the visors and all this sort of grey trim. You've got the grey dash, no choice with the door cards. I've got to spray those. There's too many marks and bits out of them where people have broken, taken them off. I need another seat base. That one needs painting for the drivers. So yeah, I should be able to get that in after I've fitted the diesel tank and the pod. I've got a leather cover, one of the stitch type ones, to go on the steering wheel there. I've just fitted the dividers loosely. So the cutout for the sink there, so the sink will sit there. Water is going to go left. Gas bottle tied to the back there. Cut the bottom of this out. Diesel heater, exit, entry, breather hole in the back there. Gas cutout in this one, obviously, for the gas. Cupboard's ready to T-trim shortly. So yeah, lots going on. There's the top there. Making a start on the diesel heater now. The unit will go from here to the other side of the heater. There'll be a hole in the base. The outlet, inlet will be on this end here. So I'm fitting, so I've got to cut the floor out of the around the metal plate for the heater and the floor of the base of the kitchen pod. And if I go around the other side, you can see better. Looking at this unit here, I've spent ages looking at it, trying to work out where I was wrong. The cupboard holes were here instead of where they are now. Completely got the diesel heater end wrong. So basically just flipped the wood round, recovered that. It's now in the right place. It's not until you put stuff in a van that you realise that you're, well, totally the wrong way. So yeah, that's sorted. So the heater will obviously be bolted to this plate. I'll cut around here. I think it'll be okay though. You don't really get much heat. The holes are in the floor there, ready for the outlet and fuel. So take this vinyl out, screw it down, obviously with the heater in place. Exhaust gas as normal. Electrics will come into this top part of the unit here. Outlet will be on the front, inlet at the back. Electrics I'm not too sure where to put. I would imagine, I can't see me have any problem with the main fuse board on the front there, diesel heater, remote controller on the bottom, and I'll put the gas completely the other end with a dropout. Water down in the middle, just to keep them one end to the other. No electrics anywhere near the other end. Put the seat in just to give me a rough idea as to how far I could go front, back. So that gives, where it is, plenty of, well, I'm 6 foot, so with that seat in place, just sat on that, it's more than enough for reach, etc. So that'll be the furthest point the seat will go back. You've even got, when the seat's higher, another 2 or 3 inches rake on the back there, so plenty of room. Constantly thinking this through, to be honest. With the base in place, I don't think the battery tray will go on and enough room for the battery, so maybe not. Plan B with that will be battery underneath the, obviously this is going to be right over here, front of the bed will come out to about 45 fixed, flip over the second section. Battery then will go underneath this front section here, electrical cables running round, trunking into the back here for all the electrics, which will be in this section here. Plan Z, yeah, that'll work. I think that's about it for now. Even doing that, the pieces I've cut out still fit the same, sink disc still goes in the same. That then gives you chance, when I put the ceiling up here, I'll put something across. Actually, you can see that is definitely as far as the seat will go back. So remember, in the last build I had, the furthest point the seat was back was roughly just slightly past the here. So yeah, it's probably just over an inch further than that would normally go for somebody six foot maybe. Well, yes, that's where I had the seat adjusted. So yeah, they're all looking good. So I'll get the diesel heater plates on there. I'm not going to connect it all, so somebody's doing a bit of work underneath. Sending unit for the fuel tank is roughly here. So I'll take a feed off the top of the sender unit down and across here into the diesel heater. I'll keep the pump underneath as well, because it'll be the other side of the chassis rail, which runs sort of across here. So it'll run neatly there. The pump on the other side of the chassis rail up here, exhaust coming out over this way, inlet taking from sort of the centre of the van where there's no moisture, water, whatever. Okay. So I decided to put all the pipe work on the heater. No real reason not to be honest. That's the inlet, that's the exhaust. Can mess around with that after underneath. This is the main one, but the inlet pipe, it's a good heater. It's got the proper fuel pipe on this one. I don't know where or how close I'm going to go. Far away as possible. Basically, I'll need a piece of this for the entrance exit into the pump. It goes into this. That's about it. Treated the bare metal, so drop that in there, secure it, cut the hole in the base of the pod, put it over, and then I'll continue to put the rest of the pod together. Okay, and under the van I've gone just past the chassis rail there. You've got the exhaust here, which I can bring right out to the side of the van. The inlet, put that anywhere towards the centre, maybe more towards the tank, just for the air inlet. It keeps dry then basically. High up, face it down slightly, and the inlet will be coming from about here from the fuel tank. I'll bring that across into the pump first actually, so I'll go up maybe onto the chassis rail here, or the floor, or even further back onto this side piece here. It doesn't matter, as long as the pump's facing a certain angle it'll work. Okay, so I'll leave that as is until it's all ready to be plumbed in. Just gone round with some sealer there, just make 100% sure nothing comes back into the cab. Highly unlikely, but worth a bit of safe then. Rest of the sealer I'll do the cable inlets once they're tied back so they don't move, and from the top seal that up completely. Okay, that's a heater bolted down, sealed, no issues with that. I'm going to cut the section out in the heater compartments I've done here, drop that over, get the kitchen pod in situ, screw that down, and I'll leave cutting out the holes until it's all plumbed in and working. The rear one, I'll just do I've got drop out vents basically. I'll put one in the back so the heater gets plenty of air coming in. The exit will be a larger hole, maybe here, the trunking that's sold with it, and then the plastic outlet kind of here. That should all work well. Yep. I'm going to have to come back in again for this, but I can do that through the floor there to the side of it. Anything else that needs to come in out can be done. And like I said, I'm definitely going to put the controller there, the main fuse board on the top. And the drop down table I was going to do there, looking at how far this comes out, it'll just be way too far away. So I'm going to do the usual rail across there and build a tabletop with the same stuff I put on the top of the unit there, and that will come out. I can't actually make that as long as I like, but maybe 75, 80 to sort of just coming into that wheel arch there. So if you sat there, you've got a huge table. Should be able to sit two there and use the table when it's adjusted to its furthest point over. Okay, that's it for today. That's the trunking that you can put over the front of the heater. Cut that off to wherever you need it. And coming out the front is the adjustable vent, with pretty much nothing being in the cab area here. I'll just turn that. You could turn it towards the bed or roof, either. Actually turns on the front now. Okay, job done for today. So tomorrow, cutting the base out of the kitchen there. I'll T-trim the cupboards, waiting for the hinges. I've got the catches for the front. Fit the control panel there, fit the diesel heater control panel there. Get all the wiring up the top here sorted. The leisure battery, I think for space I'm going to go down the route of fitting it in the bed. So I'll work out where the dead area in the front of the bed is, get that in. Split charger from the front underneath the cab flooring there. While that's up, take the inlet from the fuel tank for the diesel heater. All good. Also noticed I'm at just over 500 subscribers, so really happy with that. I know in the grand scheme of thing with YouTube it's nothing, but means a lot. So if you subscribe, thank you. If not, no problem. Yeah, get onto these seats. The cab, the cards, I actually sprayed those, just include that. It's both door cards sprayed. Comes out a real nice sort of satin. You'd never know they were sprayed actually, it gives a really good. And that's bumper spray held. Normally spray about a foot away, give it 3 light coats, and it doesn't sort of sit on the plastic, it almost sinks in. Cracking paint. Obviously the top there for the unit. Okay, next time. The car, by the way, I'm having a wing put on the passenger side. That'll be for sale soon. That's a Seat Altea on a 14 plate. That's only done 50-something thousand miles. Anyway, diverting. Till next time.